Welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. You see, I'm here with Michael Goldstein. He is the CEO of Land InfoTech. And when he's on, we're talking tech. And I'm here to learn because he knows it all and I don't. So what's going on, Michael?
Thank you for having me. We are at this stage in the tech world where AI or artificial intelligence is taking over the world, and we've seen this as one of the fastest growing technologies that I've seen in my, I hate to say it, 30 plus year career. Um, and one of the innovators, of course, that you would expect these days is Microsoft. And everybody calls AI something different. A company called OpenAI came out with ChatGPT, which
Mhm.
kind of changed the world. Microsoft is a part owner of ChatGPT, I'll say OpenAI, but they
Ooh.
came out with their own product, which is really kind of cool, called Copilot. And we are on a mission before the end of 2024 to at least do 10 to 12 of these hands-on kind of events to explain to people, what artificial intelligence is, why you might need it, and talk about the Microsoft flavor of it. The cool part about Copilot is that it's a coin phrase for Microsoft, but if people have an Office 365 subscription today, whether it's, well, I'll say business, you have the ability to have a free version of it, which answers all your questions, like what I should write in this thank you card. Please create me an image so that I look good on Jacqueline's show. So all the cool things that are out there. So, and then it's really kind of cool to interact with people and show them what this tool could do for them and really help them streamline their business.
Can you give me some examples of how companies can use Microsoft Copilot 365? Why should they be interested? Now, first of all, what Michael's here for is he's having a lunch and learn, to talk about Microsoft Copilot 365 and how it can streamline your business. And you see it scrolling along the bottom. It's happening through the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and you just go to hollywoodchamber.org for more information. But I want to understand a little bit more, kind of tease us, if you will, give us an idea of what we can really use. We hear it all the time, like you said, what AI is used for, but how? Where do we start?
So obviously, pandemic and post-pandemic changed our world. We'll never be able to go back to the way it was. And I'll just say a lot of the businesses that we're dealing with are trying to fit, more than an 8-hour workday in less than 6 hours. So as an example, if you look at my calendar, for yesterday, I had 7 kind of meetings. You don't have time to do all these things. You don't have time to process all that data. So it's not just in my industry, it's every industry that we're talking about. We're bombarded with more information than we ever were. We're on all of these virtual type meetings that are out there. We're on in-person meetings. So for me, it could be actually today at 1 o'clock, I had 3 things scheduled for me. Everyone now is dropping something on your calendar, and what do you pick? So in the instance of this, with Microsoft Copilot and Copilot 365, if there's a meeting that I really would like to attend, but I can't, I just click on the word follow and it will be like I'm there. And then I do get a video transcript sent to my inbox after, like I attended the meeting. But most people today have these automatic note takers. Jackie, you must have been on a couple of Zoom
Yeah,
calls.
yeah.
What's this fireflies? Who are those people? And everybody has a note taker. And what happens is if it was an hour meeting, there's no way that I could read through all that. So what I use Copilot for is that when I get that summary, if it's in Microsoft Teams, I could actually chat with Copilot and say, give me a summary of this 1 hour meeting in less than 100 words. So the whole transcript gets summarized for me. Tell me where my name was mentioned. Tell me where my name wasn't mentioned. So I can, instead of watching an hour meeting or even a half-hour meeting, a 15-minute meeting, I can ask it questions. Now, the other thing that happens is that lately, I'm notoriously the last person to show up to the meeting. It's just one of those things. Your 11 o'clock doesn't really end at 12. Your 12 o'clock started. With Copilot and using Microsoft Teams, if I was 10 minutes late to the meeting, I could say to Copilot, tell me what I missed. And it will quickly summarize. No one else sees it but me. So for our virtual world, it's great. Or like today, I had an 8 o'clock council meeting.
Yeah.
I went to a Broward Navy Days meeting. I had a couple other things that are out there. And when I finally opened up my email box, there was that email chain we all have where person A sends an email, person B responds. And I'm like, there could be 20 of them. And using Copilot 365, I could actually just hit a button and say summarize, and it will tell me why this chat was going back and forth. It'll give me who said what very quickly, and then it has little numbers next to it so I could say, show me that email. So instead of starting at the bottom, reading, in seconds, it can give me the highlights. Sometimes I don't need to know the middle.
Now, Michael Goldstein is with Land InfoTech. And is this something you're now offering or training on? Because
So
I know you for a different reason at Land InfoTech,
listen,
cybersecurity.
we do a lot of cyber stuff. We do is so, if you go back 2 years plus when ChatGPT started, and I use this because think of Copilot as like another flavor of AI ice cream, right? Every time you go into a new ice cream shop, there's another flavor. So when this came out, the world kind of changed. And at Land Infotech, we're always trying to stay in front of that curve, and we have been. And really, what we're out there doing is it's just something else that we're offering to our customers. Because my philosophy is that if we can't be the fastest and the best at bringing something to people's hands, someone else will. So we are going out, and just like I'm talking to you about this, we'll go through some statistics that are out there of why people are using and what they're using AI for. And then it's super stressful for me, but I literally open up my laptop. It's my copy of Copilot on my live email box on my things, and we show people what we can do with it. And everybody has a different use for it. So yes, Land Infotech has been selling a bunch of Copilot. We've been doing a lot of educational pieces to explain why they need it or another flavor of AI. And then lastly, what we've done on top of in the AI front is we have a AI platform that we're showing people that has a lot of built-in apps. So as an example, we all do work for not-for-profits.
Right.
One applets that we have in place there is a grant response generator, where a not-for-profit could just take a copy of a grant, an actual PDF of a grant, drop it into this application that we have, and the application will ask a few questions, very generalized questions, and start generating the grant response based upon the statistics that it was in there. And the more information a company puts into this AI platform, the smarter it gets. We have an applet that'll do social media for not-for-profits. We have an applet that goes out there and do job descriptions.
And you've been doing that for a while.
So it's kind of cool that we could, take this new platform, take Land Infotech to the next level of helping the community, but more importantly, educating them and letting them know what's out there to find out what's good for them, or does this fit for them?
Yeah. So at this lunch and learn, because I plan to go, even though it's, in Hollywood, I'm like, you know what? I know you. It's one of those things.
Yep.
I know you. And because I know you, I know that I'm going to get great information, and I know that I'm going to bring my questions and you're going to answer them.
And,
So
and,
if you so
and
if you're going to
go ahead.
if you're going to go to this lunch and learn, bring your questions. Don't just go and listen. Ask your questions, because Michael is the type of person who will sit there and answer them for
So
you.
we have five of these over the past X months, and every time someone asks this great little question, and it's a think tank for all of us, because I could see those aha moments in people's eyes when I'm like, watch this, and then they're thinking, hey, could this work for me and do this? And I'm like, that's a great idea. So definitely come with your questions. It's not just going to be, Mike talking for an hour and a half. I want to show people why they need it, and then I'm going to do live demos on my data. You never know what's going to pop up.
Never know what's going to pop up because, and that's the key. The key is all of our businesses are different. All of our industries are different. So, and like you said, one other part of Microsoft has our Chat GPT. I always say it wrong, um, but they all offer different things. And I know that you'll show us the best way to use this to be more efficient in our business. So at least we have a starting point uh,
Agreed.
to try things out. Because
Years,
I,
years ago, one of our vendors used to always talk about knowledge is power. And it's one of those things that have stuck with me for 20 years. We want to give you the knowledge to go out there. It's not something that you're walking in and you're like, I got to sign here to buy this. Knowledge is power. How you choose to use it and then harness that technology in your business is, your choice.
so who should come to this meeting?
I would say that anybody that craves for a little knowledge and anybody that does not have enough minutes in the day to do their job, hug their kids, watch some TV, and relax. AI could really change your life. I've been using Copilot for probably 6 months. The first, X weeks, I was a little skeptical. Can't live without it. So I think come out, see what you learn, take that knowledge back, and then if there's individuals after that, after you see this demo that want me to come out in person, I'm happy to come out there and do it. I think that we all need to look at this because it. A lot of people use the coin. I've heard many people sit there say that AI is going to take jobs away. AI is not going to take jobs away. Those people that aren't harnessing AI are going to fall behind the curve. So we all have to see what's out there, and maybe it's not the right fit, and you're happy with the way things go. But at least you learned a little more, you gained a little knowledge.
Yeah, because really it's that time saver. I speak to a lot of people in the AI space, and they're they were trying to show me how to use it in certain ways. Um, but so far my skills out outsmarted it. I was kind of happy. I have to tell you. And that's also, it was not so much that you still want to know, like you said, it's not going to necessarily take your jobs, but it is helpful. So it did help in one way, right? As far as giving that rough draft of what they were looking for. But what I applied to it, AI wasn't able to do that. And
I think it gives you also a head start. Listen, we have a full scale marketing company that we use, an outsourced marketing company, and sometimes it's hard for me to portray to them on the first try what I want. So, in essence, I'm using AI to help better harness my messaging, and give them ideas of what I'm looking for. Or, in April, actually in March, we did a cyber summit. I couldn't think about what I wanted as the theme about it. So I went to AI and I had it generate, a bunch of images of artwork that I might like because, I'm not super creative. And in the end, I narrowed it down to 4 images. I sent it to the marketing team and I said, this is what I like about each one of these. I didn't like it as a whole, but I gave them a color pattern that I was looking at, something that caught my eye. So for me, it made me go out there and made me give them more information to get me what I needed smarter. So sometimes it's a quick way to start. Sometimes it's a waste of time. I recently did a bio, and I
uh-huh,
let
uh-huh.
me throw the bio into this and see that I liked my original bio, so I didn't follow any of its pieces.
Right. So exactly. Who can tell your story better than you? That's, my own line, right? But
Agreed.
what I want to say is when you talk, I was going to say something else, but then you hit marketing because that's one of those questions someone had brought up to me day before yesterday. And they were like, how would you use it for marketing? How do you like targeting an audience or something like that?
You can gather good statistics that are out there. And, one of the key differentiators I usually say is I always did say, even when we started talking in our early cyber, you have to pay for something. So when you're using a free copy of ChatGPT, you are putting your data and gathering data from God knows where. It's public domain data. When you're paying for something, and I'll use like the Copilot 360, it's searching my work data. So when I say create a cybersecurity outline for a small business that is a plumbing shop, it'll search through my information. And the difference I also find in the paid versions, at least in Copilot, is it footnotes where your data is coming from. Because you don't want to be one of those stories that said, oh, or in the company, I gathered directly what AI said. I put it into a document and gave it to my boss and saying, here's the facts. So I think it could make us smarter. It could help you narrow it down, and it could help you be more creative.
So tell us where we should be on September 16th.
So the September 16th, I think we have it scheduled for 11:30. It's at the Greater Hollywood Chamber. Um, Register online. Lunch will be there, and definitely bring a lot of questions. We will follow up with everybody and give them tips and tricks and information that's out there, but we want it to be an interactive session.
Sounds good to me. Thank you so much for joining me, Michael.
Thank you.